Hello, welcome back to my channel. So I am actually just about to hop into the shower. It is evening and I thought it would be really cool to do a little video for you guys on my nighttime hair routine and how I prep my hair to sleep when I have hair extensions, because taking care of your hair is so important, especially when you have hair extensions, using the right products, brushing it correctly, and then sleeping with it correctly. So I'm about to jump in the shower. It's been like 5 days since I washed my hair. I usually go 5 to 7 days. I've trained my hair to be able to do that and it's so nice. So I'm gonna hop in the shower. I'll show you guys what I use and then we're gonna go over products, styling, and then prepping. So if you're interested in watching this, stay tuned.
Put your body on the kitchen table.
Okay, so the first thing I like to do is use Olaplex number 0. I usually do this like every other wash. Sometimes it ends up being like once or twice a month. And the number 0 is gonna give my hair a really good treatment. So I put this on, focusing it mids to ends, and I let this sit 10 to 15 minutes. I shave, do all of that, and then I'm gonna start washing my hair. These are the products I have in my shower. I love Unite. We are a Unite salon. They have the best stuff. I also love Oribe, Olaplex, the K18. I kind of switch up what I use depending on the day and what I'm feeling like. But today I am using the Unite 7 Seconds. This is just their go-to moisturizing shampoo and it's really good for everyone. They have a bunch of products in their 7 Seconds line and I love every single one of them. So I'm gonna be using the Unite 7 Seconds shampoo. When you're shampooing your hair, you wanna make sure that you start at the top, work your way down to the mids and ends, especially with extensions. Sorry for the awkward angles right here. Also, I am going to be using their Blonda Purple Shampoo. And if you're a client using purple shampoo at home, you can either mix this with your regular shampoo half and half so it's not as strong, or you can do it after you shampoo. I typically tell my clients to start at the root and then let it fall through your mids and ends as you're rinsing, because it is so strong that it can hold onto your extensions so much more than your own hair and it can turn them purple. So let it sit about 30 seconds to a minute and then you're good to rinse it. Then I'm gonna be using the 7 Seconds conditioner from Unite, and this is just a really good moisturizing conditioner. Make sure you always use conditioner mids to ends with extensions. You don't wanna get it in the tabs or at the weft part because it can cause your extensions to loosen. I also wanna mention K18. I like to use this mask every time I'm not using the Olaplex treatment, so I'll kind of swap them out, but it's really, really incredible.
And yes, after you use purple shampoo, it will look like you murdered Barney.
Okay, so I just got out of the shower. My hair is sopping wet. And I just wanted to show you guys how to properly towel dry your extensions. So after you get out of the shower, I don't brush my hair yet. I always get the moisture out first. I'm gonna take my towel mids to ends and I just kind of squeeze it to get the moisture out and work my way down. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. You wanna make sure with extensions specifically, and honestly even just your own hair, because this is the healthier way. You don't ever wanna rub it and like go like this to create friction, because that can actually damage your hair and the extensions. So I got most of the moisture out that way. Then I'm gonna put product in it. Okay, so I'm gonna use the It's a 10 Miracle leave-in. I've used this for years and I love it. I also love the Unite 7 Seconds leave-in. That's what I use in the salon and love, love, love that. But I've always used this on my extensions and it's just incredible. It makes your hair feel so soft. When you're doing leave-ins, it's really important to make sure it's just mids to ends. You want to avoid the root of your extensions with all product, honestly. The most important thing when looking for a leave-in product is to make sure it has a heat protectant in it so that it protects your hair when you're blow drying and heat styling. So that's why I love that one, as it does help protect against that. Then I'm going to brush my hair. I'm using the Jessi Styles extension brush. This can be used on wet or dry hair. It's a mix of boar bristle and nylon bristles. And we also have one called the multi-use brush, which is metal bristles. And I actually really love that on wet hair as well. The nice thing about using the right products though and getting that moisture out is you can see my hair's not like tangly. It doesn't really need to be brushed. I'm just kind of doing this to smooth. And you always want to work your way mids to ends down and then do the root very last. Especially with extensions, you never want to go in and like yank at the root or where the extensions are attached. But I like to do it at the very end just to kind of smooth my part over because my hair is kind of finicky like that. All right, so now we're gonna start the blow dry process. Okay, so I am using the Storm. This is the dryer by Jessi Styles Co. When we created a dryer, I wanted to make sure it actually had benefits instead of just creating another dryer on the market because there are so many great ones. So it's really great because it's really lightweight. You don't feel like it's too heavy. It doesn't hurt your arm, but it's freaking powerful, which is why we called it the Storm. So I love using this. I have one at home, one at the salon, one for travel. It's my go-to. When you're blow drying your hair, it's really important not to get too close to the tabs of your extensions if you have tape-ins, especially because it can melt that adhesive, and then even just the wefts in general. You just never want to get too close to your own hair, the wefts, anything, because that can be super damaging. And you also just don't want to get like too hot because it can start steaming up. So luckily blow dryers usually don't go too hot. I usually put mine up to the full heat setting and the full power setting. But if your blow dryer gets really hot, maybe do the medium setting. And that's another reason why it's so important to have a heat protectant on your hair before you use any heat at all, because that's going to protect it when you're like doing all this heat. With hair extensions, you can let your hair air dry. So if you're one of those people that doesn't like to blow dry your hair, I'm definitely one of those. You can air dry your extensions, but just make sure that you go through with your blow dryer and do a rough dry for like 5 minutes on at least the top. So like the tabs of your tape-ins or the tops of your wefts, because if moisture sits in the tapes, the adhesive can slip. And if moisture sits in the wefts, it can mold, and that's improper hair care. So if you're gonna let this all air dry, at least get most of this dry up here if you can. And then the nice thing about our extensions is they do dry in like a natural beach wave. I'll insert a photo right here of what that looks like. I do it all the time, and it's a really great way to kind of have like that beachy lived-in look. But if you're showering at nighttime like I am right now, I think it's best to blow dry your hair and not sleep on it wet, because then it can mat a little bit easier. It can cause damage, and it's usually just a mess in the morning. So if you're gonna do that, shower in the morning. Okay, I'm gonna start.
Always tend to drive me crazy, looking at me with those eyes. Then put some music on, turn the lights down low, throw the pillows off the bed, blow the candles out.
For reference, this is what a rough dry looks like if you're just doing the tops and you want most of it to air dry. I've just done this side. You can see it's still wet, but it's definitely drier than this side that I haven't touched. And I'm mainly focused on my root to get my extensions dry. So if that's what you want to do, that's what that would look like. I usually rough dry my hair about 80%, just kind of running my fingers through it before I start any round brushing. And then I'll show you guys what that looks like once I get to that point.
You gave me, 'cause it reminds me of the times when I was down and you were there to save me, telling me that I'll be fine.
Keep in mind that round brushing your own hair is a lot harder than doing a client's, but it does take a little bit of getting used to and a little bit of practice, and then it's a lot easier. I don't do a full blowout every time, but I do love to do it when I have the time, and it just makes your hair feel so much better. So I'm using the Jessi Styles large round brush, and after my hair is about 80% dry, I take it section by section and I just round brush it to smooth it out and give it a nice shape, and that way you don't have to flat iron it after and put more heat on it as well, because the round brushing does that for you.
You let it go. If you got something on your mind, I'ma try to help you let it go. You got something on your mind, I'ma try to help you let it go.
Okay, so I just finished blowing out my hair. I don't do a full blowout every time I blow dry my hair, but I do feel like it's important to do this every once in a while. I especially like to do it if I am going to bed after showering, because it smooths the cuticle, and I feel like it just like helps me sleep on my hair better and not wake up with it like a frizzy mess. So I love also the look of like face frame. I've always been into that, and I love that like the 90s blowout look is coming back. So kind of nice because it holds really well till the next day, and then I can just kind of flat iron to touch it up. So I'm going to be using a serum on my end, just a little bit. A little bit goes a long way, and then just work it through the mids to ends. You don't want to weigh your hair down too much, but keeping your ends moisturized is really important every single day with extensions. So I'm going to use that. This is the Paul Mitchell, I believe, the Super Skinny Serum. I also love using the Jessi Styles Rose Hair Shine Oil, but we're actually in the process of revamping that, so that's why I don't have it right now. So that's what I do, and then I'm gonna show you guys what I do when it's actually time for bedtime, because I'm gonna make sure that my hair is secured in the proper way. Okay, you guys, so When you're going to bed, there are a few things that are super important. The first one is making sure that you don't just go to bed like this. You want to make sure you are securing your hair in the proper way. There's a few different ways you can do this. I have a scrunchie right here. I do feel like scrunchies are the best way to do it because it doesn't dent your hair too much and they're softer on your hair rather than a tight elastic. This one's actually satin or silk, which would be good too. And that's really soft on your hair. It's a good material to use. I typically like to do a low pony, and I usually have my face frame kind of out because it's gonna fall out anyway. And I just wrap it twice and it's just a loose pony at the back. That's usually comfortable, but sometimes if you do have a lot of hair, the loose pony can kind of hurt your neck. So if you feel like you have too much hair for that, you can also do 2 low ponies, and you could do a scrunchie on each side and secure it in the front. I do that quite often as well. You can also do 2 braids, and I just do those kind of loose like this. And then I secure those with smaller scrunchies on either side, or you can do 1 braid down the back as well. I usually like to do ponies when I have my hair straight and I want to have it straight the next day, and then I'll do the braids if I have my hair curled or crimped, or if I want to have that style the next day, just because it kind of helps with that wave pattern. So that is number 1. You can wear your hair up in a bun on your head, but it's just kind of tricky because if the bun's too tight, it can cause tension, and if it's done incorrectly, it can kind of pull on your extensions. So unless you feel super comfortable doing that, I would just do like the low ponies and braids. If you do a top pony, I would pull it up and secure it, and then do a ballerina bun where you twist it and then secure it around this way rather than like a messy bun that would just be a mess at the top of your head. And then I have a couple of other accessories I like. This is another one that is huge. This is a silk pillowcase. Silk and satin are going to be the best fibers for your hair to lay on in the nighttime. You want to do stuff like this because our regular pillowcases that are cotton or nylon or just whatever you may have can rub on your hair, especially if you tousle a lot in your sleep, and that can be bad for it. So silk and satin are just going to be the best. These are also really good for your skin, so it's a win-win. And this is actually a little kit that I got from Kitsch. I will actually link it in the description box below, but I love it because it's all matching. It's like this cute leopard, and it came with the silk pillowcase. It's just a standard size, the silk scrunchie, and it came with this really cute silk eye mask. So super cute, love it. This is good for, you know, just getting your beauty rest. So I feel like that's like a fun way to accessorize for nighttime, and these are all really great to use, especially the silk pillowcase. So that is it for my hair care at nighttime. If you guys have any further questions, if you would like me to do any more videos like this on how to care for your extensions or your hair in general, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have a great day.